Hey everybody, Al Puglisi Trains over at my friend Howard Zane's today. As you know, I'm an apprentice, so I'm over here a lot working with him, learning. And one of the things Howard is famous for is bridge building. And we're going to talk a little bit about bridge building with Howard today, building bridges. Now, on a past episode on my channel, I talked about the big, giant concrete viaducts that I'm building that Howard designed on the Pugsburg Railroad. But these are different. We're going to talk about wood bridges today. Let me show you some, and then we'll go talk to Howard. Folks, this is one of the most spectacular scenes on Howard's layout. This is called Lickin' Creek, not Licking, Lickin'. And just a million different kinds of bridges, truss bridges, overhead truss bridges, all kinds of different bridges. Bridges can be metal, they can be made of steel, they can be concrete. Howard is going to be scratch building some wood bridges for a client today. This one's a typical wood bridge. Now, I don't know whether this is a Campbell kit, because Campbell Models made a wood bridge kit that was very involved, and it was almost like scratch building because you got a box full of sticks and you had to build it stick by stick. Again, Howard does these completely from scratch. Let's show you a few more bridges before we go upstairs. Just another example of a beautiful bridge on the layout. This one custom built, scratch built for a particular size scene. That's the nice thing about that if you have a particular size for the bridge, it's a scratch building can easily accommodate this. This arch bridge back here is a famous building in the hobby to me, because as a teenager, I remember looking at this kit. This is not a scratch build. This is an SS Ltd kit, Scale Structures Limited. They're still in business, but they used to go under SS Ltd. And John Coots was the founder of the company. And this bridge was advertised as having, I think, 875 bolts and board by board construction. And folks, let me tell you something. That bridge takes a long time to build as a kit. So if you ever see one built up, know that the amount of labor that went into it was intense. Let's go back upstairs and talk to Howard. Howard, I'm not going to ask you how you're doing today. I'm not going to ask you how you're doing today.
But I'm sorry, I kind of screwed that up yesterday. I never have a shitty day, actually. It's just not impossible. We have a great hobby. We play with trains. What could be better?
Yeah.
So I'm always a happy camper.
Yes. And today you're going to talk about building a wooden bridge.
Well, we're going to go beyond that, actually. We're going to talk on the importance of having, before you start any project, to have all of your materials in front of you. Because what can happen, once you start building something, not only do you break your energy and going out and trying to find additional stuff,
right?
But another problem is that your supplier might be out of it.
Right.
Then what do you do?
You're screwed.
So it's always best to buy more than what you need. You can always resell it or sell it to somebody else to trade it. Right. Like when I did all the stuff downstairs, I bought 1,000 bags of
Woodland Scenics
foam clusters. I'm surprised they never called me for an advertisement, because I would have given a hell of a good plug.
Wow.
But I got them at about probably there's wholesale, there's very wholesale, and there's really very wholesale.
Right.
I mean, it all depends on how much money you want to spend. So by buying 1,000 bags, I got a really good price on it.
Right.
So actually, I used all the 1,000 bags. I actually wound up using around 1,400 bags. But that's the way to go. And same with this, all this wood here and all these extra materials.
Right.
Now what you see here, these materials are laid out. Everything I need, all the wood is stained. For these are 2 bridges I have to build for my client.
Mm-hmm.
And What the hell's the country north of
Canada.
Thank you.
He's Canadian. Okay, I forgot.
You too. Oh my God, folks! I got one bit of advice: don't get old. It really sucks.
Yeah, it's not for the faint of heart.
No, it's not for the faint of heart.
Yeah, speaking of parts, folks, I mean, I'm getting parts together to build an O-scale Piermont station, and nothing is worse than setting aside a day and getting into it and building something, and shit, you like you said, I don't have enough windows. Damn it, I don't have enough. Where's my bracing material? I've run out of bracing material. Then you got to jump in the car, go get your shit, whether it's at the hobby shop or at Hobby Lobby, and there goes 3 hours. 3 hours. And then right. you get back, and you're not in it's so counterproductive.
Well, Al, when I was working on the layout, the reason I got so much done in such a short period of time, I was self-employed, and then I retired officially in 1987, which was a long time ago. But even before I retired, I would take leaves of absence or whatever, and I would work on the layout like 2-3 weeks at a time. But prior to whatever I was doing, be it bench work, road bed, scenery, or so forth, during that period, I would take off on Friday, and I would go to the hardware store, the hobby shop, whatever, and everything would be stacked downstairs on a table neatly, all the materials I could possibly use, and then some, underlined then some.
Right.
So that was important. And then it was so easy. If I had it, just like you said, if I ran out of something, I'd have to go down to the hardware store or whatever, and that just broke my energy. And plus, they probably never had what I was looking for.
Right.
One of the reasons I mentioned Tommy Gilbert, because a lot of times I'd be working and run out of stuff, like 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'd call Tommy, and lo and behold, he'd have what I need. It'll be here, if not the next morning, the following morning.
Wow.
And that was good service. I think he invented the word follow-up.
Yeah.
Because he knew how to do that. And that was great. I was very grateful for that. So he has most of my business because of that.
Right.
And can you hear me talking? I got this ear condition where every word I say, I vibrate, so it's hard to talk.
Oh, no, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good. Now, we have all the materials here for this bridge. You said wood.
This is, I cut all, this is over here. I cut all the parts. These are the lower parts here, and these are the higher part. That's low, high, and these are the end pieces cut on a 30-degree angle, 30-60. They'll fit right in here. You can see here.
And they're all pre-cut.
All pre-cut.
Ready to go. And stained.
And stained. So all you have to do is build this, fill this in. These over here will be the bottom pieces. The bottom stringers here. And this over here will be the cross bracing. You
have all your wire.
Over here will be additional bracing, the vertical bracing, the wire.
And then you've got all your straps.
Those are the all the rivet plates and the bracket plates.
Wow. And then you built a little template here out of Scotch tape that you can just pull up.
Well, that's easy.
Folks, this is a brilliant idea for scratch building. I think it's a great idea. I mean, you can pull it up after you're done with it.
Oh, yeah, I can pull it up.
And you can modify it. You use, masking tape. Some people use wax paper. Some people use a clear sheet of plastic. Well, hey, whatever works, whatever works.
This is so simple because you got a large graph. You got all your repeat. This is like a modular system, and it works out fine. Yeah,
you've got your inches. You've got your graphs. Yeah. Everything's there.
Getting back to our next project, which was our California customer, we're getting ready to start his electronics and interiors and scenery. Now, photograph around here, starting over there with the trees and the tins. These are all the materials.
Oh, yeah.
Possible.
Yeah. I mean, this is
we got twigs over there we're going to make trees from.
Yep. We've got, just to show you folks, then we're going to have a few upcoming episodes on this. But this is a little taste of all the little goodies. It's a all you can eat. It's better than Golden, what is it, Golden Corral? It's better than Golden Corral. Look at all the tasty.
What's a Golden Corral?
Golden Corral was all you can eat. Yeah.
That place.
But
I don't eat cows anymore.
Wow. Well, Howard, when you're done with this thing, and we'll shoot a video of it when it's done, it's going to be a magnificent piece.
Well, thank you. It should be done. I had a proportion to change the proportions because he wanted this at 10 inches.
Okay.
And, of course, this price now is plus $80.
Right. Right.
And 10 inches, you can see over here. Here's your 10-inch line here. See this line here?
Mm-hmm.
And there's these lines here.
Right.
It just didn't work. It was out of proportion.
Okay.
So I called the client this morning
Mm-hmm.
and said, to make this thing right, because he wants it 4.5 inches wide, because it's going double track. And says, any problem going to 13.5 inches? And he said, no problem. So
Good.
that's
Good.
what we'll make it.
Well, these are not stock. These are all custom
No.
built by Howard. And eventually, I'd like to, once I get caught up with the structures, I'd like Howard is going to start showing me how to build these bridges too. Because right now I'm working on those big viaducts, getting ready to work on
You've
those.
been working on those viaducts. I told you how to do it. Just get a piece of.
I have the
No, it's not going to work.
Right.
You have it's not good. It's going to have a crinkle eventually.
Well, no, but I have the material now. That was my
need,
problem.
What you need is very simple. It's evergreen 20,000s, not 15, not 30, but 20,000s styrene, clear. No, well, you can have it. You can be scribe it. Put the scribe on the inside.
Right.
And that's what you use because it bends easily, it glues easily. What you're trying to put is illustration board up there, and it's not. It's going to crack when you bend it.
Well, we'll see.
Well,
experimentation. I got it free, so we'll see what happens.
Okay, I wish you luck. But, I'll be here to. You can
Clean up the
my
mess.
arm when
Yes.
if it doesn't work.
Howard, thanks very much, and folks, please stay tuned and hit the subscribe button. And
I'm sorry. Do you want to talk about some of our future ideas, like the discussions? And
yeah, we'll do that shortly.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a lot coming up on the channel with Howard and our
and
visiting guests and discussions and brass. We're going to be featuring brass locomotives for sale. Not only is it for sale, but we're going to talk about the history of the piece.
There you go.
Talk about the history of the piece. Talk about the prototype. Talk about why this particular piece is a good value versus maybe another maker. You know, you might have a maker, you might be looking for a Niagara, for example, and Key and Alcoa and Tenshoto made brass models of the Alcoa. Which one's best? You know, stuff like that we will discuss.
That'll be fun. I look forward to it.
Yes. Thanks, Howard.
Thank you, Al.